evening squad, even though I am posting this tomorrow instead. I do not perceive myself at this moment. Don't hold me to it. Might end up doing it after dark one tomorrow, but I know during the day I will be trying to force myself to look at the camera. I've been giving myself notes on how to improve here, and it's like, why are you looking out to the side of the camera? You can't even make eye contact with the camera. It's not a person. I don't know, y'all, but that's it. Just like it happens. I don't know who's on the other side of there. Maybe there's somebody making me nervous. Either way, I feel like so. Hi. I don't perceive myself making any videos tomorrow during the AM or even the early afternoon because I have a lot of deliveries I want to get done. But I was getting the ping that I need to do a channel message. It's getting late. Yes, it's 8:30, but in daylight savings time, it's like midnight at least. It has to be. So what do I want to start with? Okay. Let's go right to. It's been a little while since I used it. But we're going with the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. So I'm going to deliver this like an email or try to. I've been trying that the last couple of times. Like I want to deliver it like a message and be able to like present something from that person's perspective. But I realize once I am tapped and I have no control over what's happening here, I am simply the messenger. So let's see what the theme will be. So what is the theme for today's message? I don't even know when that started or why. I have to ponder upon that. I don't know if I'm more concerned with like what I'm thinking or what somebody else is thinking. I don't want to pick it up. Like I don't want to like stare at somebody and then suddenly know what they're thinking and be like, oh shit. But that's never fucking happened. So I don't think that's the reason. So, oh hell. Let's see. Protest. Start a revolution. So this is a big collective message because the other one on the other side was surround yourself with love and lavender. Isn't that like contradicting? Fight for your rights. Appreciate those you love. Like I said, strictly the messenger. So those are the themes. Love and war. Ooh, I take that as love and war. What do you guys think? I am going to pull the astrology deck next. Like, what is the hidden message here? You need love during times of war. In love, there is the seed of hope. That's the thought that came through. So, what is the message that I am delivering? Just that quickly, I decided there is no underlying reason, not from this life, for the eye contact thing. I'm just shy. I'm just really shy. Like people can see me and talk to me and stuff. Like, so I was going to do a post earlier. Pardon me. To explain what your Virgo placements were going to mean during 2025, right? Because they are being triggered by the South Node. So whatever you agreed on, Virgo, the sign of service, originally as the way that you wanted to be helpful here, your sixth house energy is going to be triggered for you to be called forth on that contract. Earlier this week, we discussed that there were two covenants that popped out to me that are being activated at this time. Uh, the covenant for Tara, just to bring back lost souls, and then the Luciferian covenant, which is to keep those souls lost. So, first house is arriving, the arrival. This says in the community. I was not expecting this sort of message. I was expecting something I was going to have to decipher, but no, it's like, red alert. You need to know this right now. The contracts really are being activated. Everybody who's in their little sleeper cell state is being triggered awake because this is next. This is necessary. Make sure you're surrounded by the right people. The last couple of years have been giving you the opportunity to remove those that would be an issue for you. If not, it will become extremely loud that they're not supposed to still be there. As you find your connection to a cause greater than you, as you arise into a higher vibration of self. That's what I feel like for the group here. Because those who are on the opposite end, and even possibly all of us will have to witness the revelation of old things done in the dark. Skeletons will be coming out of the closets. And I felt this particularly in connection to politics. Trust me, y'all, I don't come on here thinking I'm pulling for no politics. I'm still salty about that election one. I'm like, why would y'all not tell me ahead of time that the dude was gonna win and the female spirit was gonna be in there? Afterwards, I had a movie that made me feel better. I told y'all about that. But I let it go just because I still was like salty. Y'all could have told me. Y'all was said feminine energy, but I guess that's what I get for focusing on the energy and not saying what physical body will be the winner of the presidential election. But since then, my daughter made me watch She's the Man in this Catholic movie, I guess I want to call it. It just came out. It's like nominated for Oscar, Emmy, whatever they get nominated for. But it starts with a C. Come come something, but either way, it's where all the guys have to vote the new priest in after there's one dies. So put the gag. Well, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. The gag is all the priests are arguing amongst each other because they try to figure out who should be the best one, and then this one stands up and gives this amazing speech about how they're not working from their hearts and they're not working for the church, they're not working for God, and it just leaves them all flat on their back. And it was originally the guy that nobody expected was going to win. So this person won, and after they won, they decided to pull the little main dude to the side and like, hey, technically I was born with a uterus. So the gag there is it's a woman inside of what appears to be a man that is going to be the leader. So I felt way better about that. But I don't like to pull on political stuff because it's so, and I think even when I go into it, I get nervous about who's this going to offend because it doesn't align with their values. Even though we're all into the spiritual realm, everybody still has their beliefs and things they're working on. My mind is just a big, I won't even say box. There is no box. It's just all over the place. So when I'm perceiving something, I'm looking at it from the spiritual aspect. Like, what are we dealing with from space, right? This is Earth. This is Earth. So what is the message that I need to deliver? That's the question I'm gonna keep asking. What is the message that I need to deliver today? Like Jesus. Is this? So I said with Jesus, by the way. Look like he got a wet wavy weave. I love that for him. So the healer of ages, bringing things into balance. On that. This is what I was looking forward to. Give me some encryption. Give me some secret message. Because I'm like, my reach should be way farther. I'm spitting on this channel. Like, I'm giving out really handy information, like decoding the matrix and shit. Yeah, I got all of my ego and my feelings since my algorithm slowed down, right? But I'm like, hold on. If this is the case, and this information is what it is, it would not be something that will be mainstream, but would be something for a select few or select group of people who were privy to the information on some level spiritually. Excuse me if you can hear Call of Duty in the background. But in this moment, I just thought about, hold on, y'all never have to hear Call of Duty in the background. All things are connected. It's so trippy. So, oh, nervous. I gotta know. All right, there's some nervous energy here. Now we're taking a turn. All right, let me try this one. The character oracle. So the first half of the message was that the masculine and the feminine energy are coming together. And that's, let me show you guys. Oh no, not coming into balance. Union is coming. And I feel like I should even pull a love card just to confirm that for whoever's on here. And I really appreciate that no matter how much I try to get away from it, every reading I do in some way, shape, or form comes back to love. Like we could be talking about healing A, B, C, and D, and it's going to come back to love because love is the vibration that connects us back to source. Orgasm is the same energy as source energy. So everything goes back to it. In this case, these two came out. Phoenix. These two, it was the healer of ages, the masculine energy, right? It's being balanced by, here we got the angel of strength and then goddess of the moon. Remember, Sophia is a split entity or has two parts to her energy, right? We got Hecate and we got Sophia here. But we got this coming back into union, into balance, into equilibrium. So I guess that's what the surround yourself with love is. I did get a message the other day when I was riding in the car, and I was like, how do I convey this to anybody? Because once again, I never want to offend anybody, make them feel any type of way. But I started watching just because I keep little stuff during my lunch break. Most of the time, I don't even finish these movies. Like at this point, I get the idea of what the message is like 10 minutes in, and it sort of like takes the fun out of the rest of the movies now. So there's a price to pay for ultimate cosmic pop. So the film I'm watching is about this guy who dies, but when he gets to the other side, he finds out that he has to wait for his soulmate because we only come together in pairs and we leave in those same pairs. So I'm like, aha. Saved another one today I have not begun watching, but it looks like that's sort of the same theme of having to find your other person, which goes along with the Hyros Gamos thing that I was telling you guys about. The masculine and the feminine bring you back into the Trinity, which allows you to go back up to the Godhead. That's the top of the tree of life and death, right? The message that I got when I was about the Uber thing was a lot of people have been missing their opportunity to pair up, and they're going to regret it when the time comes because we were all supposed to be locking in with whoever you would want to be. And I know this is going to sound wild, but if the world was like ending or you were about to go through a war, nobody wants to be alone. You were sent somebody to keep you in this while this was going on. For some people, you were sent to somebody and it just didn't go like that. And that may have made you shut down, but don't shut down. Open yourself back up because there's somebody else like waiting in queue. There's somebody else waiting in queue because everybody's like, grab your partner, do-si-do, like pairing up, trying to make sure that they get in this formation in some way, shape, or form. Pisces is the crown, right? The North Node will be in Pisces. So if you wanted to exit or to go home or to rise up to that level, you would absolutely be getting into formation. What I'm seeing here is there's some that are anxious about going to down the path towards these connections. There's some stalled. So I'm like, who's anxious about going towards connection? Okay, I saw something the other day that said karmics are fallen angelics who are jealous of real divine couples because they're going to come together and they're going to ascend. The individual pieces aren't going to ascend because they're not coming into union with anything. They have decidedly disconnected from source, right? So if there are couples that are meant to be together, there will always be people trying to infiltrate that or pair up with somebody who is not necessarily their mate to throw that off. I was trying to figure out what happens to the people who don't hop on the path like they're supposed to. They get stuck with the vampires. So maybe these get 3 cards over here because I don't know what that's about. But didn't this repairman person pop up in a reading person lately or recently? Repair, restore, restart, renovate. So the masculine energy. On the top here. Swindler. Master of deception, hypocrisy, disguise, conspiracy. So the ones who have not paired up because they've been playing games. And they were supposed to be healing and getting into alignment are the anxious ones. They don't know what is causing the anxiety, but they know that there's something that is off. Very possibly they've missed the opportunity for that which they were meant to be coming into alignment with. Okay. Damn it. There we go. No. That tickles me every time. Like, I don't know. Like, all right, this is in focus, but like, oh, no, that didn't do it. This is trippy, whatever. So, what am I supposed to do with that message? Okay. Some people, or some of these repairmen that played around are just becoming aware of the fact that they need to take this path and it's still making them anxious. On the other end of that was the taking woman, right? Storm warning, magician in the mirror. I keep seeing nobody's cooking. I keep seeing messages that say, I'll take that as a confirmation. Messages that say, like somebody who came off the path and it was on a channel called Magnetize Yourself on YouTube. Nobody's even cooking. That somebody who missed a timeline where they were supposed to be, you was like trying to merge back into the proper timeline. That's what the storm warning made me feel like. It just won't shut up. It's extra weird. It never does that. It usually just does it for a couple seconds, then it does that. So we need to know what the storm warning is. I feel like I'm giving like deployment briefs. These messages so people know what's going on in between time. So what is this storm? What is this storm? I can't believe this. I really got to title this one anymore. Overflow of activity or energy clearing the way. One day I shall learn to not doubt myself. Because the theme of the first pulls I did was intuition. I just didn't understand how this went from explaining that war was upcoming to a relationship, but they have something to do with each other. Ooh, the weirdest ping I got today when I was walking on my pacing, right, was that, and this is particularly for the masculine energy, a bunch of husbands are coming home, even if you have somebody or if you don't have somebody, like their actual energy is going to be entering their body. Like your actual spouse has been up in the act working on stuff or fighting the war up there. Next year, the war comes down to Earth. So a bunch of them are going to be entering their bodies. Like you've been dealing with the NPC version so far, or just the not evolved, not the divine version. I got like the energy of the divine one is coming into the bodies. This sort of feels like that. It was waterfall, right? When I asked what the storm was, waterfall, clearing the way, right? That's making wrong. Energy coming through for wishes fulfilled. You good? Is your wallet? You look like a bad kid. Can you make it past me? I am, but it's a free video. It's not the same as when they pay for it. You can pop up to the back. I love that for you. Paparazzi ready. Go ahead, run. So this whole overflow that's clearing the way for wish fulfillment. And then winter, right? So is it be on the lookout? And this is the Akashic Record cards, by the way. Be on the lookout because why? Why should we be on the lookout? The covenant has been activated. It's just trippy, right? Some decks are really like straight to the point. And this Akashic, that's why I always recommend this. If you are getting into tarot reading, this one is a great one. It's like your library card before you get meditation style access to the records. So that storm warning is because when your partner wakes up, whether you're with them and then one day you notice your partner is just like amazing suddenly, or somebody comes into your life and you meet like it's supposed to, it feels like some of them will merge into this timeline. Like even if it's somebody that like you thought was X'd out the picture, like they played too much when they were supposed to be healing into their healing energy, right? It doesn't feel like that's gonna matter. Like somebody who's completely in their ego, there's no way for them to tap into their higher self. They're not even gonna like, right? But if there's somebody who was like fighting themselves, dealing with anxiety, depression, all that stuff, and they did the work in the meantime to rise up from that, they're gonna have a special like little bonus gift around January 11th, and even before when the North Node starts going into Pisces, when their connection to their crown is reactivated. So Pisces energy rules Neptune in the 12th house. That's your dreams. That's your karmic load, past lives, anything that needs to be dissolved, like the ego. So the idea of who you used to be, who you were as a human, is slowly going to go away. Like I had my awakening when the North Node was in Pisces. I'm sorry, I said Pisces. I'm stuck on it. In Leo, right? And it took a while. Like first it's like you go through the stage of, okay, I'm seeing numbers every freaking where. And then I'm like seeing messages and I'm like, this message is pretty specific. And then it got to the dreams that started lining up with the messages. Like it built over time. But there came a time when there was like a guy's memory who came back to me and I'm like, holy shit, I knew I was forgetting something important. And that's the memory I kept in my mind. I'm like, you know what? If that person is supposed to be my person or whatever the case is, and they come back around this life, like you can't fault somebody for not waking up if like life was too hard and they don't want to do the heart healing that would allow them to take on their higher self, right? You can't fault somebody, or it's just sort of hard. But I knew that it would be best if I just like relax and let it go. And it gave me peace knowing like if ever one day he heals his heart and his memory starts seeping back in, he's gonna be like, holy shit, I know I was forgetting something important. Like it's dead ass. I felt like I left my baby in the car, like, oh damn, I went shopping and left. Like I really felt like I realized something was missing. And that's the feeling that your partner is supposed to get when they start remembering who you are. Like something is important. I need it in my life. I made a promise. But interestingly enough, as long as you stay on your path, like that other person has no choice but to meet you on it. I explained, I'm gonna say, the last video I did, because I don't know if I'm gonna post this tonight or tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow in the morning. Uh, that in my chart, my contract goes with Michael, right? The other gag about that is anybody else's, any other guy, any masculine that I come in contact with, and I don't know how the fuck this works. That's how tripped out I am about it. I had to curse. So I'm working on that. Anybody else's chart I come in contact with, wherever their Michael is in their chart, I light it up. What does that mean? What I've been saying to you guys for the last 3 years, same soul, different body. If you are tied to a specific person or a specific signature, you are running into that same person because you're magnetized to that energy. But in some cases where these people are just like NPC, like little player people, when you step into that person's field, there's something in your design that is going to activate the energy of the person that is your spouse in that person. So it's like the same person just popping up everywhere and different people like, hey, it's me again. Let's try this as Eddie, since it didn't work when I was Dan. Dan sort of sucked. Let's let's switch and try it as this other version. Does this one suit you better? It's like your spouse is just trying to find the right body to match you, and vice versa. Y'all will probably notice when you sit down and have conversations that there are similarities. Like, I don't know, you feel sort of familiar because you have been working out your karmic lessons with other versions, other cut off versions, other healing versions, just trying to get to the vibration where you guys can actually build together, the one that you don't mess up pretty much. So, gotta pull for where everyone is being led at this time. I'm so mad. I would have told him to bring me something. Where I don't have my phone to text him in the middle of this powwow. So, all right, where is this collective being led? Where is this collective being led? I'll be. That's another reason I don't look up. I didn't realize, like, I can feel my facial expressions. Focus, focus, focus. I can feel my facial expressions, or I can feel the feeling that comes through when I'm pulling the cards. But I forget so often, like how expressive my face is. Like I never get to see me outside of me. But looking up just now, I'm like, there's no way I cannot tell y'all what BS just came up here. What made me go, hold up. So Spirit popped at first, and Beyonce Spirit started playing in my head. I'm like, okay, all right, we moving towards God. But then I see Peaks of Joy, right? There's somebody up in the clouds. This is rescue, right? After being stuck in the mud, and this is all saying being led audibly towards a sacred space. This made me think about Judgment Day. Yes, I know, y'all. I know. But like being led to spirit in a peak and you being rescued. Remember, y'all, this is the place we've been held hostage here on earth. So I'm like, all right. So follow the drinking gourd. Listen to your intuition. Everybody's intuition is guiding them towards their, look at that shit. Another lookout. Somebody's looking for you, on the hunt for you. Tierra Marie. That's what just started playing in my head. I love that song. So either way, you are being pushed towards source or your, do I want to say like pickup place? Like, you know, when hostages get rescued, they might have a launch point. I'm not getting the word right. Extraction point. You've been stuck for a while. Listen to the directions and the signs because you were being protected and led to a whole new thing. So if you've been on your P's and Q's and you've been doing your healing work, keep it up. Despite all the stuff that's gonna like make you upset in between time and make you want to close off your heart, do not do that. Love is the thing that will protect you when everything starts looking like this. It might even be going on now. And I have not been, I've not been looking because everybody's just getting angrier and angrier for good reason. That's what Covenant B is wanting. Their plan is right on schedule. Maybe one day I'll pull for that. I had to think about it. Like, damn, I wonder what kind of shadow band that's gonna give me. Like, what are the underworld plans? Because I can absolutely pull for it. I'll be disturbed sometimes because, like, why am I getting their messages too? But my Venus is right on Beetlejuice. So as soon as some evil ass ping goes out, my ears be like, what was it? Like, if it is magic infused, get past it. It's just a decision. I guess that's a test of strength too. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to try to take step into your own hands, or are you going to recognize that the battle is so much bigger than you and take it to the proper place? The first time I had my whole spiritual warfare thing, I remember thinking Michael the whole time. Like I could sense his energy there, but that was the guardian I had put on my personal altar, my altar of power. He was at the bottom as the thing protecting it. So the whole time I was going through my ordeal, like I felt his energy with me, right? But I don't was under extreme duress, but I don't recall at this moment what type of prayers or anything I was doing. I was in my magic bag, like dead ass. I realized it was a black magic attack, and there's certain stuff I had to do magically, like salt and all that stuff. Like it looked crazy, like Carrie's mom. But I'm here. There's a lot of people who went through this stuff, and they ain't here because their attack ain't go as well. Blessed be. So when I had a similar incident this year, it was two. The first time I tried to do it the same way I had the first time, magically. But during the middle of doing that, I realized like whatever I was doing magically was just feeding what they were doing because I was fighting like with anger or with rage or with my own personal power. And I was like, this is not the right thing to do. And this just came like intuitively, right? So suddenly I get hit with like, take it to the king. Like that's the idea in my head. So I did, and I invited angels in and I like tapped into God, and the feeling was completely different. Fighting a battle against like Legion or whatever bad things have been tossed towards me through black magic. It's like I could not feel the attack. And when I felt the fear or the energy that was running through me, it was just fear of myself or my own power, right? The third, and as of right now, final time, they ain't tried this again since. Didn't do anything at all. I called God and said, I'm not going to have to deal with another 24 hours sleepless because of some black magic stuff going on. Hello, daddy, I'm snitching. And I'm calling in the seven. That's the seven archangels, and they can handle this battle. Let them fight angels. I'm going to sleep. I had the best sleep ever. So, with that being said, there are levels to this whole process. But the highest level, the crown, the intuition that at the final battle, let me know I ain't have to do nothing, was missing in the first battle when I thought I was alone and I had to do all that fighting on my own. That was like a crazy time. We are all being pushed into that energy, a test of your connection to your intuition. So I'm gonna pull for a last empowering message because this was freaking weird, but it will resonate with who it needs to resonate with. Because it is important to pair it with somebody, and this could be like a best friend. I'm feeling like actually it's an all-in-one, and it has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with which person has more masculine polarity versus more feminine polarity. But it's all in one, like a friend, lover, business partner. Like you're meant to pair with somebody and shine and create your own lane for yourself. So, what is the message of empowerment I need to leave with this collective today? And of course, just now in this moment, I'm getting the message. This will only resonate with those in the know, like I was saying at the beginning, those in the know who understand the codes, because we're getting to the point where a great divide will occur. This message and any message is going forward, as I say, like on other ones, but definitely I'm feeling now. Any messages going forward, they need to be resonating what you were already hearing for you to know it's your message. It's like you had to already have had clues in order to understand this, or it's going to sound like, what? But the first card, clearing. Isn't that the second clearing card today, guys? Clearing. Make way. That's so funny because I put that freaking song in my head. Like I told y'all, I have different alerts. I'm so wild. But I'm like, if I'm going to be magical, I'm going to have fun with it. Let me put magic alerts so my guides can reach me with certain messages. So my firewall is Dark Horse Katy Perry. So if anybody's too close and they ain't in the right energy, it ain't about to go right, there's a dark horse, right? In this case, with the clearing, the make way that just went through my head, I told my guys, I don't want to hear stuff. I don't want to hear donkey. I don't want to hear anything about a guy coming near me. uh, he's that guy. So I was like, when the time comes, the only thing I want to hear is make way for Prince Ali from Aladdin, right? So when I did the make way, I'm like, I guess that lines up with it. That means my sync was on because that's absolutely what this is clearing, is making way for that other energy, the other person to come in. So it says, debunk your life, make room for what you want in life, clear your space, detox relationships, let go of what does not serve you both physically and emotionally. The next one was comfort. And for me, that means maintain your vibration during this time. Like no matter what's going on, you stay steadfast in your journey and know that as long as you stay on your path, a bot that will magically come to life and be a wonderful person will meet you along the way. Somebody will match your vibration. Don't drop your stuff just because you're like, oh, everybody else is doing their thing. Your time will come. And that's the next card, timing, by the way. So comfort says, show yourself some love. Be kind to yourself. A part of you needs comforting right now. Whatever unease you're feeling, it's okay to drop expectations and seek solace. This is for either party because a lot of anxiety was coming from the masculine energy about being at a crossroads. And on the feminine side, it was a lot of energy that was on anxious because they don't know what's going on the other side. And this really feels like it's even for people who are in relationships. It does not matter. This is just what is happening to the two polarities of energy right now on Earth. So timing, and it's probably going to say some divine timing thing, like everything is going right like it should on this clock. Wait for the right moment. Timing is important to consider right now. Trust that your instincts and intuition will show you when it is the right or wrong time to take action. And then the last one, oh no, I'll take these two. Let it be. For me, that says go with the flow. Trust universal wisdom. There is more to the situation than meets the eye. Set aside the need to know and to control the outcome. You may be surprised by what happens. And finally, express love. Share love generously. How do you show your appreciation? Discover new ways of expressing your love and new people to share your admiration with. So I did a couple of these readings when I said all new everything, but it comes along with a new vibration and being willing to let go of what was before in order to lock into your higher self. Your higher self will be nothing like your other self. People who knew you 5 years ago, once you get into your higher self, they're gonna be like, wow, you're so different. Like acceptance. Just roll with it. Like anybody who knew me and nobody's around now. But anybody who knew me from before will have a conversation with me and will be like, the fuck? As opposed to before. When I was just a wedding photographer, then like celebrity gossip and a good meal. I was just looking back through my gallery. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many food pictures and no pictures of me. I would like to definitely change that going forward. And I feel like the less food pictures I have, the more I want to take pictures of me. So, God is working. 9:09 was on the clock. Y'all have a good morning, evening, whatever. I'll put this up tomorrow. Whenever you see this, have a good day.